Ripple has acquired standard custody. What does this mean for Ripple and XRP? Ripple has gone ahead and acquired standard custody from Polysign and everything that kind of shook out there. So what does this mean? You know, Ripple did put an LOI on Fortress back in 2023. An LOI is a letter of intent. They went through the financials and decided that they didn't want to move forward with purchasing that trust company out of Nevada. But now they do have standard custody and trust, which is a trust bank filed in New York, which allows them to custody, high net worth individuals' funds, family offices, RIAs, assets there, and really sets them up to be a custodian and offer those types of services for tokenized securities and other tokenized real-world assets and financial products. So it's going to add to their scope of services. They're still going to be licensing, the IP and wallet infrastructure that Polysign provides, standard custody. So I think that'll actually generate some revenue for Polysign that they may have not had before. And it also allows them to go after other fiduciaries that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to or didn't have on their roadmap previous. So now they can go to Anchorage, they can go to Fortress, they can go to these other trust banks and license their wallet infrastructure and their IP and their protocol that allows for the escrow and trade lines and all the other things that they have that is built into their proprietary protocol that these other custodians don't have. So I think that it separates those two, and it allows Polysign kind of a proof of concept for their product. It allows them to generate revenue by licensing that back to standard custody, and Ripple obviously would pay for that. And then also Ripple now has the capability through Medico. And so I want to touch on this. I think a lot of people are going to be confused. They're going to say, well, Ripple already had Medico for custody. Why did they need standard custody? So Medico just provides software. They are not a custodian themselves. So they partner with other banks like HSBC, potentially, Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, a lot of these banks that you're familiar with that deal with retail investors. And they have a product called Harmonize, which allows for governance around payment flows for digital assets and stablecoins. Standard custody is a trust bank that doesn't have that infrastructure. It does. It licenses it. Trust bank. Standard custody is a trust bank that licenses their infrastructure and the protocol that Polysign has that could be complementary with Medico. So their proprietary protocol does specific things. Medico software does specific things. It's a value add. It's a benefit. It's not this or that, right? And maybe over time they do implement more of that and Medico's infrastructure and their software with standard custody. And maybe that adds benefits to that company that it didn't have before when the only thing it used was Polysign's IP. So I think this is huge. I think it's going to add a lot of value to Ripple's the scope of businesses that they have invested in and own under their umbrella. Again, the stuff that Medico is going to be dealing with is going to be tokenized payments, banking infrastructure, and payment flows there, whereas this trust company that they've acquired for standard custody is like cryptos themselves, high net worth individuals, funds, RIAs, wealth managers, and it's going to be catered toward the tokenization of financial products and real world assets. So that's kind of the difference there and why they would need both, because the XRPL and Ripple scope of products that they're getting into, the DeFi applications, all the stuff that they're progressing toward now that payments is kind of, I don't want to say done with. We'll see what shakes out in 2024 here. But I think a lot of their focus on the CBDC side and instant settlement, along with ODL and the AMMs, a lot of that's been done, and it should be moved in place. And I think they're shifting their focus more to tokenization of financial products and markets as a whole, instead of just payments. So this allows them to custody those and add that to their scope of services. Should be great for their valuation. Hopefully we see a bump there as well. And I'm excited that Digital Ascension Group is now working with Ripple through our partnership with Standard Custody and Trust, where we custody our clients' assets. So if that's something that you would like to get into, there's a couple qualifications. One, you do have to have at least $100,000 worth of assets that Standard Custody custodies. So that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana, Matic, Chainlink, XRP, and then a bunch of DeFi protocols. And those assets do have to be held in a trust or an LLC in order to work with us and custody your assets through our account with Standard Custody and now Ripple. So excited to be working with them in that capacity, and really excited about the future. So hopefully, this has provided you some value. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.